I'm going to take you tonight with me to heaven. How are we going to do that? You're going to take your seat halfway between heaven and earth. And how do you do that? You put your right foot on the earth, heel toe, left foot, heel first, toe second. Let your back stack like coins, and let your front be soft like a willow. And gently close your eyes and let my voice be your guide. You're going to travel with me 22 miles south of this very geographic place in space. You're going to go into a 300-year-old endemic Florida hammock forest. Now gently open your eyes. Welcome to Patch of Heaven Sanctuary. I'm honored to be the Chief Experience Officer at this 20-acre forest preserve and nature sanctuary just south of the city. We actually care for trees and bees and birds and bats and butterflies. And it was 300 years ago that that forest became protected, and it was only 58 years ago that one of the founding families of Miami, the Matheson family, the creators of Key Biscayne, chose to do something very unusual, which was build a house in the woods. It's a forest dwelling. It's a biophilic actual place to live. There are 3 ponds inside the home, and there are 8 mesh walls that through the screen let the forest come right into the living space. We've preserved that building and 3 others on the original 10 acres, and our current founders, Bruce and Joyce, actually bought the next 10 acres, so we're a 20-acre space. And that new 10 acres looked like black plastic industrial agricultural nursery land filled with pots from Home Depot. And in 13 years, we've regenerated, rewilded, and actually created a new growth forest. And this space that I'm honored to actually say I get to do the kind of mindfulness work I do there invites people to come and experience a sense of peace in their mind, in their body, and their spirit by taking what we call the nature pill. Science has proven that 20 minutes in nature reduces your levels of cortisol. Some of you are nodding your heads, so this means you already know this. And what we've done is actually create ways that you immerse yourself on our 20 acres so that you can have that kind of an experience. What also happens on our land is that we have gone in and we have actually, on our 14-foot light limestone base, which is halfway between heaven and earth, tapped into the Florida aquifer, and we bring all that 72-degree cool water up for our cascading waterfalls, for our koi pond, and for all of the lagoons that we have on the land. We are a migration point between Central and South America to North America for all of the birds that come through. And you might occasionally walk onto the land, find a bird you wouldn't normally see here, and literally have a moment of peace. What we also do, and the owners have made a commitment to do, is preserve, conserve, and reconnect humans to nature. In so doing, I landed there because just a few years ago, I took refuge at the Buddhist Center during COVID. I took vows, and I actually lived there, and I was practicing, and I was finishing my 2-year mindfulness teacher training program. And while that happened, I cooked up this idea that what if you could go into nature and activate your sight, sound, scent, touch, and taste, which is called pause, P-A-W-S, and have a place to go to actually become mindful, just like you did sitting here. And we now have cracked ground in November and cut the ribbon on a first-of-its-kind, world's first mindful pocket park. There are 5 sensory spaces in the garden where you look for 5 things, you hear 4 things, you smell 3, you touch the Tibetan prayer wheel and send your prayers into the air and touch the Florida aquifer water with your hands, and you eat and taste from our garden. What we do believe, and the founders have made a choice since we cracked ground in November and cut that ribbon in April, is that in our mission, we believe at the times that we're in right now, that we are all suffering from disconnection. And that much of the crises we have, from racism to climate, are disconnection from ourselves, disconnection from others, and disconnection from the natural world. And when you actually take time to come to the earth circle that you're looking at there, part of what it is that happens is you reconnect in community. Your cortisol levels drop, and you actually get the opportunity to be able to be present in a way that we don't when we live in a concrete core, because it's the first time in human history that there are more humans living in cities than in agrarian or agricultural areas. So what we are literally trying to do is invite the more than 1,000 people who have come in the last year and a half to retreat, to take time away, to step away from the mayhem of Miami and actually put down your phone, what a radical choice, and actually experience these kind of spaces that literally for me are where I find my divinity. I find God in the trees, and I also find it when I listen to birds, and many others are finding out that this is really and truly one of the places where we feel most at peace. So my invitation to all of you is, instead of now looking at it virtually or letting me guide you for just a moment, come and experience it hands-free, firsthand. Don't use your screens, and make the radical choice to literally sit halfway between heaven and earth with me in our little slice of heaven. Thank you.